Hello guys, welcome back to another video with on the Coding Portfolio channel. Now, I'm bored of games. I'm just gonna outright say I'm bored of making games, and I'm a tiny bit bored with Java, to be honest. Well, maybe not Java, maybe just making games. And I want to do something different. So I pulled out my Raspberry Pi that my grandpa got me for Christmas, last Christmas. Well, no, 2 Christmases ago. And I had used it a tiny bit, but I had this whole, it was just, I didn't really understand it at the time, but now I have a more concrete knowledge of coding and just how machines work, so I'm now able to do it. So I've been playing around. I took it out yesterday, and I've just continued to play with it. I did some LED stuff, and I learned some Python syntax, which I think is, I don't like Python syntax. I have to get used to it. I just think the syntax is just horrible. I'll get to that in a second, but anyways. Additionally, my mouse and keyboard are hooked up to the PC, right? But then I have my Magic Keyboard, the Apple's Magic Keyboard. We have a bunch of these from my dad's office, and then I just ordered this $5 mouse on Amazon yesterday and got it 1-day shipping. So in a day, I've been able to understand the basics of breadboards. I believe it's vertically right here. These 5 are connected, and then like you would, I don't know how to explain it, but I'm pretty sure I get it. So like this is positive, it goes in, puts in current through that, which is connecting to one of the legs of the button. And then when you press the button, it lets the current go through and then back to the blue one, or maybe it's the other way around, I don't know. I still don't quite understand what these mean though, so I need to figure that out. But additionally, I did some LED stuff, and I learned a few things, like this is positive, the longer leg is positive, and in a day, yes, I was able to learn that, along with some Python syntax, which I mentioned before I don't like. It's just really, it's not confusing. It's like Scratch, kind of. But anyways, it's like a language meant for babies, but because it's meant for babies, it's confusing. Sorry, I keep hitting my stupid wrist rest because this desk is tiny. I need a new desk. Well, I'm getting one when we move. But anyways, so I have this code. I think the import is just really stupid. From GPIO 0 import button. Why can't they just say GPIO 0 dot button? Like, why can't they just say import GPIO 0 dot button? That would make a lot more sense. Saying from, it's like they're like trying to make a programming language that follows English grammar. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like dot makes more yeah, I don't have to explain it. Button equals to button, and you don't even have to declare what type of variable or object is before you declare it. So when you're reading it, like it just doesn't make any sense. Okay, and then you have, this makes sense, although I hate that they don't use camel case, and instead they just use this. I do that for files, but like, really? For functions as well? This is fine, but then the overall thing that I don't like is the fact that you don't need to have semicolons. I don't know, that's just a pet peeve of mine. I feel like every language should have that. But anyways, so far I have my button here and this here. So if I press the button, which I will press in 3, 2, 1, you can see it said button is pressed right there. And that's all that does. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna see if I can try to figure out, and hopefully not fry my breadboard nor my Raspberry Pi, try by myself, to create a button that just turns on and off the lights. So let's see how long this video is gonna be. So let's start off by shutting down the Raspberry Pi. So I just have this button here to turn it off. And let's just, you know what, I'm gonna take out some cables. So actually red should be positive, right? So technically these should be the other way around. Right, that goes there. That's connected to GPIO 19. And flip these two around as well. Okay, so we have this. Now I'm gonna take this resistor, which from my understanding just limits, it's like it controls the electricity so that nothing gets fried. So I'm thinking if we can move these up, because from my understanding, if it's all vertically connected, then that means I can move it up, hopefully. So if that is putting power through here, then technically, does that output power? I don't know, we'll see. Okay, so okay, so if I put this here, put the resistor here, and then I take this and put it here. I bet you if anybody knows how to use breadboards, they're probably shaking their head in disgust because I'm doing this horribly wrong, but we'll see. And then, crap. I feel like I'm doing this horribly wrong. So normally I would pause the recording. However, currently I'm recording this on my camera, so I can't actually pause it. So what I'm gonna do is just Google a few things and maybe talk a little while I do so about what I'm actually looking at. But alright, so right now I just kind of have to remember how to do the LED light, because I know you need a resistor, and I know it's a AC power thing, you know, it loops. I believe that's what it's called. I watched a video by Codemore, I believe it is, about AC and DC power. But yeah, alright, so crap, that's alright, so let's see. So I'm actually going to the official Raspberry Pi website and seeing how this works. So I'm gonna need a GPIO. So I'm gonna need a cable to go from, let's just take this. Let's do orange and white. So, you know what, let's do white and black. That makes more sense. So I'm thinking that if the resistor's there, right, wait, what? Okay, sorry. So we're gonna need the light, the LED, to be, let's just put it right here for now. Doubt the spacing is correct. So positive is facing towards the left, right? And then we can take our resistor, and I'm assuming we can just put it right here, maybe put a space in between the two. Just like that, right? Oh man, I need to cut my nails. Anyways, put the resistor there, and let's see. Sorry, you can't really see it very well. there's a resistor there, and then we're gonna need a cable from, you know what, no. Let's put it over here, because we're gonna be connecting this via the button, right? So we just put the resistor here, just like that. And then we're gonna need GPIO. Okay, this is a female to male cable. I'll just use this then. All right, I'm doing this horribly wrong, I can already tell, but let's put this here. So connecting to the positive of the LED. This will connect. Pray to God that I'm not gonna fry anything right here, right? And wait, okay, so red is going to, okay, so let's do that. And then I'm gonna need one to go to the GND, I believe, right? GND, anybody? Okay, so it says that GND, oops, it says that GND, I use this GND thing, so I'm just gonna put that right there. And then this can go over here, right? Now, FYI, I'm just testing that. I'm not following anything right now. That's why I pulled out the camera, because I'm like, okay, if something goes wrong, I better record this. Or, you know, it's something I'm doing on my own. I want to record this in my process, so. I've got it all hooked up. I doubt it's gonna work. We'll see. But let's fire up the Raspberry Pi and probably fry it as well. So my train of thought right now is that the red is powering the button, right? And the button, when I press it, we're not powering, it's putting power through the button. But right now, because the button's not pressed, that current isn't going through the blue cable and back into the ground, or I think it's GND. Sorry, I think GND is ground. And so, okay, let's just open up Thonny. And then so when I press a button, the current's gonna go through here as well, and then into the, okay, let's just test it out. Okay, so let's run it, right? Oh, no way, did that work? Okay, wait. Well, let's stop the program. Okay, you can't really tell, but the light is still on. Let me just, it's not very bright either. Let's say, okay, so right now, I'm directly, so right now, damn, the light is still on. That's not good. I forgot that it's gonna have to turn off at some point as well. If I press it again, okay, when it's pressed down, the light's not going on. Stop the program. Okay, so what I was doing is a fully non-code approach. When I pressed the button, it was just going through like a gate, and I didn't do it through code, which I guess I should have done. Oh god. Okay, so let's turn off the Raspberry Pi. I'm not sure if you could tell, but the LED turned off. Let's do that. Okay, wait, what happens if I just turn this back on? Will the light turn back on? I really hope it doesn't, else I'm gonna have a problem. Let's see. Raspberry Pi is opening up. Okay, it's turning on. Wow, I really need to dust my workspace. Okay, it's not turning on, that's good. So let's just power this off again. And I'm gonna have a different approach. That's turning it on via this. So I've learned enough Python syntax to just do some simple coding like booleans, except they don't call it booleans. They just say the variable name and then true or false. My apologies for my disgusting nails. I need to cut them. I haven't been outside in a while, so. Well, actually, no, that's not true. I went outside a couple of times, just to see my grandma. But anyways, so I'm gonna have a different approach to this. This one's gonna be controlled by code. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna take this and attach it to GPIO pin 19. It's just attach this to 19, so it's positive, and it's going. Oops, let's take the button and put it in here, and then I'm just gonna put this right here. Right, so that's gonna go. That's powering the button via GPIO pin 19. I'm gonna have to program that in, and then I'm gonna take my blue cable, which is negative. That is gonna attach here, and that is just going to go into GND, into the ground, ground pin, whatever you call it. And now we're completely separately just gonna take an orange cable, or actually let's put in the light first, or the LED first. So positive facing towards the left, just like that. And wait, let me do something. So I always forget, so it's positive. What part, I always forget which part needs the resistor. Is it the negative? I'm assuming it's the positive, but according to this video, it's not. Anyways, so put in, so I don't want to use a yellow, it's not that bright, so put in red. And by the way, sorry, video by video, I just meant the video on LEDs. I'm just doing this on my own right now. See, I just have a video on LEDs and how this works, and they have a GPIO and a ground cable, so positive and negative, just like this button does. And in this case, instead of just having the button control the LED, so whenever I press down, it passes currents through to the LED. Instead of the button controlling the LED, what it's going to be is we're just going to detect when the button is pressed and then control the LED via code. So what we can do is, let's move this because it looks weird on camera. Take the resistor and put it through the negative charge right here. And you know what, let's make this not look like it needs to pee. And let's just put that there. And screw it, we'll just have it look, okay. Let me just bend this so that it looks better. So right now it looks like it has two broken legs. Let's do that. Do that. I don't give a crap as to how far apart it is at this point. Just do that. There we go. And now we have our resistor connected. And now we're gonna need, let's take this orange cable, will represent positive, which is gonna be GPIO. Let's attach that to GPIO 6. So we can put this here. And let's do 13 just because. So let's attach it to 13, and then I can take my white cable, which will represent negative if I'm not being stupid, and I'll attach this to the line of where the resistor is, and then I'll have to attach this to another ground port, GPIO port, whatever you call it. I'll put that there because that's GND, and now you can't see the LED or the button, of course. What am I doing? Okay, wow, I'm really special. Okay, so let me just redo that. Let's actually put the light in the front, or else, yeah, that's dumb of me. Light in the front. Let's see. Positive is again facing towards the left. And this has to attach to the negative, and then we can have the, let's take this crap out. Oh, FYI, this is off so I don't fry anything. So we have our button, and just take this, attach the white. So, okay, you know what, let's do the button first. So red is gonna represent positive, and then blue is gonna represent negative. And let me just move my mouse, and let's take the red, and let's attach it to the back of the button. That way it's actually clickable. And we'll say that red is going to connect to GPIO 21. So I'm not sure if you can see it, but I'm connecting it to 21. And then we can take the blue one, and this is gonna go here. This is the negative. We'll attach this to the ground. To ground, just like that. So 21 and ground. And then we're gonna take, we're gonna set up the light. Let's see. So I can do. What the hell is this? Oh, piece of a chip. Whoops. All right. So let's take a resistor. I don't know where my resistor went. It's somewhere here. Oh boy. Oh wait, I already put it in. I'm an idiot. Okay. Resistor's there, so now I just have to connect the cables. So I'm just take, I guess blue will be, I kind of want to use, you know, blue and red again. But let's just, you know what, let's just stick with our white and orange. Right, those are the cables I just took out, so whatever. So let's say orange is going to be positive. So that means this has to connect to the positive part of the light. So just stick that there. And we'll attach this to GPIO 12. Just like that. GPIO 12, and then I'm just going to take my white cable, and I'll attach this to the resistor right here, and this is going to be the negative, so it's going to go into the GND, the ground, so I can just put, which is just right next to GPIO 12, so just like that. So now I've got everything connected. We're gonna have to turn on the Raspberry Pi, right? So just turn on the Raspberry Pi, and I'm using the wrong keyboard. So let's just, whoops. All right, what am I doing at this point? One moment. Okay, let me do some, I forgot how exactly the button worked again. Okay, so let me just do this. So, you know what I can actually do? I can do remote desktop with you know what, no, I kind of just like going onto Raspberry Pi because it's faster, plus I got the extra mouse for a reason, right? Okay, so, what I'm gonna do is turn on the Raspberry Pi first, now that we've got everything connected, and this is all gonna be controlled via code, and not like a gate. I think that's what you would call it. So, Raspberry Pi is booting up. Actually, it looks pretty cool. And I did have a separate screen for it at some point, and then my dad broke it by accident. But yeah, anyways, let's just go up to my Thonny IDE. And actually, this is the button code, so we're just gonna keep this here. However, and we could just make it a while loop, but you know what, let's just keep it like this, all right? Let's do this the messy but simple way. So we can say, well, we're gonna have to import some packages, so let's just whoops, I turned it off. Wait, let's turn it back on. Okay. And okay, so I'm just gonna refer to this code over here, this one, from GPIO 0 import LED, right? So we just do that and go here and say from GPIO 0 import LED, and then we can create our LED object. And actually, before we do that, we need to specify the GPIO port in the parameters of the button, because we changed it, so it's going to be 21, right? Because that's what I connected it to. GPIO port 21. There we go. And let's create our LED, so we can say light equals to LED. I believe that's how you do it. And switch back to my computer. I have this HDMI switcher, which I quite like. Allows me to swap HDMI, stuff. I don't know how else to explain it. And LED 12, so I'm assuming that's the GPIO port. So let's just do, or first we have to import the, first we just have to import the package for the sleeping, right? So we can do, let's keep the button was pressed, and we can say, the actual port, which if we see is, let's see, that would be the orange cable, which is connected to 12. Okay, so I'll just put 12 there, as you can see. And now we can go down here. And let me just switch back my computer, because I can never remember the commands after, like, if I haven't, done it like a couple of times. And we can say, okay, so it's LED lights dot on, then sleep. So we can just go back. And over here, let's do lights.on, light, and then we can say sleep for 3 seconds. It's like the thread.sleep in Java, I think, and then we can just do the light.off, right? And I don't know, let's run it. So let's press the button. And it works. Perfect. So what's happening? Well, we're importing 3 packages. One is for the button, the other one's for the LED, and the other one's for sleep, for the timer. And so we just create a new button object. That's gonna go to port 21, GPIO port 21. And we have a new lights object, right? Which is gonna be an LED, and that's going through GPIO port 12. And then we have this button.wait for press, so it won't execute any of this code from line 9 to 12, or 9 and below. Technically 9 and up will not be run. Lines 9 and up won't be run until it's pressed, because we're doing wait for press. So it's kind of like a while loop, and it's saying like while the button has not been pressed, we're just going to return and not run any of this code. But then once it is pressed, we're not going to return. We're just going to run this code below, and then it's going to print out button was pressed, just like we do here. Once it's pressed, and then it's going to turn on the light, and then it's going to wait for 3 seconds and turn off the light. So in between the next video, I'm going to learn if statements with Python, and then I'll actually make this system a lot better. All right, have a good day. See ya. It's been fun.